In a world that constantly pulls our attention outward, clamoring for our engagement with its endless stream of demands and distractions, the most profound and transformative journey we can undertake is the one that leads inward. The quest for self-knowledge, the deep and honest understanding of who we are beneath the surface layers of persona and conditioning, is fundamental to a truly fulfilling life. The renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, a pioneer of depth psychology, consistently emphasized the immense landscape of the inner world and its critical role in our development. True self-development, as illuminated by Jungian thought, calls for more than passive introspection. It demands the courage to periodically withdraw from the external clamor, to embrace a necessary solitude where the authentic self can be heard and nurtured. We often find ourselves looking externally for answers, validation, and a sense of direction. Society, with its prescribed paths and expectations, can inadvertently lead us away from our own unique truths. Jung wisely observed, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." This awakening is not always a gentle process. It involves the courage to confront not only our conscious thoughts and beliefs, but also the vast, often uncharted territory of the unconscious. Jung highlighted the power of this hidden realm, stating, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." To truly know oneself is to embark on this archaeological dig into the psyche, bringing hidden motivations, fears, desires, and potentials into the light of awareness. This is the foundational step towards genuine self-mastery and authentic living. This vital inner exploration is profoundly amplified by the practice of solitude. In the hustle of daily life, amidst the chorus of others' voices and opinions, it becomes exceedingly difficult to discern the subtle whispers of our own inner guidance. The external world, with its inherent noise, can obscure our self-perception, leading us to identify more with collective norms than with our individual essence. Jung understood the restorative and revelatory power of solitude. While he personally found it a fount of healing, a more universal insight into its necessity comes from his therapeutic observations. The patient must be alone if he is to find out what it is that supports him when he can no longer support himself. Only this experience can give him an indestructible foundation. Stepping away from the constant input of the external world, even for brief periods, creates a sacred space. In this quietude, the layers of societal expectation and adopted personas begin to peel away, allowing for a clearer, more direct perception of one's true self. It is in these moments of deliberate abstraction that we can begin to differentiate between who we have been taught to be and who we intrinsically are. The journey of looking within and utilizing solitude culminates in what Jung termed individuation. This is the lifelong process of becoming an individual, that is, a separate, indivisible unity or whole. It is the journey towards becoming the person one was always meant to be, actualizing one's unique potentials. Self-knowledge and the strategic embrace of solitude are crucial companions on this path. Jung described the shedding of false layers inherent in this process. One cannot individuate as long as one is playing a role to oneself. The convictions one has about oneself are the most subtle form of persona and the most subtle obstacle against any true individuation. We are like onions with many skins, and we have to peel ourselves again and again in order to get at the real core. This is not a passive unfolding, but an active, often challenging engagement with oneself. It requires the honesty to see our masks and the courage to remove them, layer by layer, to discover the authentic self hidden beneath. Achieving this requires the courage, at times, to consciously abstract or distance oneself from the pervasive influence of others or societal pressures. This is not a call for misanthropic isolation, but rather for strategic withdrawals that allow for inner clarity, strength, and realignment. Jung noted how entanglement with the collective can pull us away from our own nature. Through his contamination with others, he falls into situations and commits actions which bring him into disharmony with himself, acts in a way contrary to his own nature. Deliverance from this condition will come only when he can be and act as he feels is conformable with his true self. When we are constantly enmeshed in the expectations and emotional currents of those around us, our own signal can be drowned out. By stepping back, we create the space to hear our own voice, to consult our inner compass, and to cultivate the internal resources necessary to navigate the world with greater authenticity and purpose. This intentional solitude fortifies us, allowing us to return to the world more wholly ourselves, less susceptible to being swayed from our own path. The journey inward, supported by the deliberate embrace of solitude, is therefore not an escape from life, but a deeper engagement with it. It is a path that leads to a more profound understanding of ourselves, and consequently, a more meaningful and authentic existence. Self-knowledge and individuation are not destinations to be definitively reached, but rather ongoing processes of discovery, integration, and becoming. As Jung so eloquently put it, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. This endeavor, while demanding introspection, honesty, and the courage to stand apart when necessary, is ultimately the most rewarding path one can walk, the path to unveiling the unique and complete self that lies within.